Couples are able to survive another spouse cheating on them, but they're not able to survive financial issues in the house.
The sisters, mashallah, are a lot more financial savvy, but the men, 9 to 5, then chilling with the boys, then coming watching sports, and just repeating without any concern.
The Prophet ﷺ, a woman came to him and she said, I've been presented 2 men for marriage. The Prophet ﷺ told her, don't marry either of them. From that, the scholars took that a woman should marry a man
That's known for
generosity. He makes money, but he just refuses to spend because he saves and he hoards. Some men are like, look, I'm saving for our future, but they don't realize that saving
destroying the future.
You're destroying the future.
It's
why is it destroying the future?
minus 8% every year, just inflation. It's 100K in the account every year, and it's depreciating 8 to 10% every year. So you're left with nothing 8 to 10 years later. Your buying power is completely gone.
Yeah, you make money,
Yeah.
but you put it away. You don't spend it on us, nor are you doing anything for our future. So what would you advise this guy to do? What should he do? Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Muslim Money Show. We have my co-host here.
There you go.
Hates the introduction that I'm going to give, but I have to give it. You know why? Because Muhammad ibn Sirin, rahmallah, he said, the great Imam of the Salaf, he said, we used to take hadith from whoever. But when fitna happened and these people, innovators came who were all saying falsehood, we started to say, Sammu lana rijalakum. Tell us your men, where did you get this knowledge from? Imam Shafi'i would say, I hate knowledge being attributed to me. If it wasn't for the fact that because of the science of hadith, people need to know, where did you get this from? So you need to know where they get their financial, I won't say this is financial advice, but, where they get their, education, their monetary education from.
Yeah.
So Brother Sam, mashallah, tabarakallah, 8-figure real estate entrepreneur, has $100 million plus of...
Just have been in the trenches, Shah, that's all.
With $100 million plus, Muslim money invested in real estate without riba, Allah barik. And he's got investors that with Allah's permission, his tawfiq, have become multi-millionaires now on the back of investing with him over, a period of time. Hundreds of thousands of dollars they've made, millions of dollars some have made, mashallah tabarakallah, and he's currently got a project here in Dubai, which seems to be very promising, mashallah tabarakallah.
Inshallah, Sheikh, yeah.
And you guys can find out more information about that at the link below. But this podcast, we aim to give guidance, to speak, to talk about issues that we as Muslims have pertaining to money. Fundamentally, the objective here is how to make more wealth and so on and so forth. But there's other issues that indirectly affect, like our topic today, which is husband and wife's relationship with money and how money can affect the household.
Yeah.
So, Sheikh, I came across a stat recently and it really blew my mind.
Okay.
And that is that financial issues are a bigger cause for divorce today than infidelity.
SubhanAllah.
In other words, couples are able to survive another spouse cheating on them, but they're not able to survive financial issues in the house.
Wow, SubhanAllah.
That blew my mind.
SubhanAllah.
Now, of course,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No,
It's all across the board, or Americans, or do you know what the survey was done on?
I think it was America.
Okay.
I think it was America. But I think that theme, someone can correct me in the comments, but that theme, most people will be able to relate to it.
Yeah.
Like even, we understand the concept of, that type of heartbreak, that type of heartache. Of course, it's completely haram. A man should never cheat on his wife. A woman should never cheat on her husband. But they find ways to
mend it.
But when it comes to, and that makes sense, right? Because polygamy is something that is natural, and actually, there's a lot of arguments that are now coming out by anthropologists that monogamy actually is not even even natural.
But that's not cheating, though, right?
It's not cheating.
This is not even.
But the point that I'm mentioning is that the concept of a man
another
being
partner
with another partner is something that is workable.
Yeah.
Because how many people are in polygamous relationships? Yes, there's turbulence, it's sad, it can be heartbreaking, but they manage to get over it. But financial issues seem to be the thing that it's like the make or break, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we made it past my partner being with another partner, or my husband being with another woman,
right? But
I can't make it past you not paying the bills, bro.
Yeah.
Or these financial issues. So this is a huge problem, man. Have you experienced this?
Sheikh.
So not in your personal life, but as in...
Of course. So I think it happens the other way around. When there is a financial issue, it leads to infidelity from the woman's side. And probably the marriage breaks before that. Or the marriage breaks without the man knowing that. That's why the survey didn't show up. Or probably the woman did not admit to it. That's why it didn't show up on the survey. But from my experience dealing with the community, and I'm talking with what community? I'm talking about Wallahi Sheikh, Muslim community, Bengali community, the Desi community, it leads to infidelity, money issues from the woman's side.
That's completely and entirely unacceptable. But if I'm just trying to empathize with the state of that person's mind frame, even though this is not a justification, it's completely haram and diabolical. But just so I can understand, it made sense to me when you said it that it came from the woman's side, not the man, because fundamentally, what the woman gets out of marriage is financial security.
Of course.
And if she's married you, and you're not able to financially take care of her, then why is she in this marriage for? Because that was her right. Like that was literally the transaction, right?
Yeah.
Like nikah, the scholars, they discuss, then they define nikah in the books of fiqh. The definition is literally the contract that permits you to be intimate with her.
I've read that.
In return for financial
security.
Her finances being sorted out. Of course, the woman should never cheat. She does not have.
Of course, we're not justifying anyone. Both ways, we're not justifying. Yeah,
but what it indicates is the importance of financial security in the household. So what is it? Do you think is that from what you've seen, is it that guys are not able to pay the bills and the
Sheikh, even if they're able to pay the bills, Sheikh, I think first is most of them are in the survival mode. Most of them are not able to pay the bill. Even if
the community you're talking about is like middle class, right? These guys that have
middle class, actually, but there are lallus, Sheikh. You know what?
You have to translate that for the people.
I don't know what the translation is.
Chumps,
right? Chumps. Yeah, chumps. Sitting on their couch, and when they get up the couch makes the shape of the
bottom
of their bottom because they're such overweight people, and Cheeto dust on their belly, watching sports, other men grabbing balls and playing. Literally, that's all sports is, right? And the women, because subhanAllah, I'm saying this from my experience, dealing with clients, dealing with investors in the West. The sisters, mashallah, are a lot more financial savvy, and I'm not saying all, but I'm seeing it. Like a healthy percentage. I'm seeing. Where they're listening to financial podcasts.
Really?
They're listening to because they're worried about their kids. Like they're worried about, my daughters are growing up, my sons are growing up. This school, they're teaching LGBTQ weird stuff. I need to put them into private school. This private school is going to cost $50,000 a year for my 3 kids. Where do I figure it out from? I'm listening to this. But the man, 9 to 5, then chilling with the boys, then coming watching sports and just repeating without any concern of what's coming. And
the money that he has, he spends it on status symbols, as we discussed.
Status and the status on the boys, basically. Just status, Sheikh. Oh, my boy's getting married. I need to buy him a $10,000 Rolex.
Well, guys do that?
Oh, yeah, because he has done that. At 10,000, probably I'm exaggerating. But the point being, Sheikh, like status. Just status.
And they're not taking care of their wives.
And they're not taking care of their family. Wives are not necessarily, or at least good wives, get mad because you're not buying me the Gucci, the Prada. Good sisters don't get mad for that. But when they have kids and they see like, now you're not stepping up. All this time was just me and you. And you made money, you spent on your boys, you did not spend enough on me. It's okay. But now that we have kids, you're not taking care of them well. You don't worry about their, well-being, schools, environments, the neighborhood we live in. We're still stuck in this ghetto neighborhood. Even though you make enough money, you're not thinking of how do I move up? How do I buy houses? How do I invest in myself, financial education, this and that? And she's doing that.
Since we started making content for righteous and rich entrepreneurs, I've gotten so many messages from brothers who've been inspired and want help making money online. They're hungry for financial freedom so they can seek knowledge, do hijrah, and live life on their terms with Allah's permission. But here's the truth. I can't help you. I personally only work with 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs. With that said, there is one brother that I trust more than anyone else that helps beginners start their online businesses with Allah's permission. In fact, I've sent him dozens of brothers already, and time again, he's helped them make consistent money online. Look, I have a lot to lose by putting my name behind someone I don't have full confidence in. But this brother, I vetted him and his team and his method. I trust him with Allah's permission. Which is why I'm ready to risk my 10-year plus reputation on telling you this brother, he will help you make money online, inshallah ta'ala. So if you're interested, go to the link below and you can apply for his mentorship. With that said, let's get back into the discussion. I think also some men, maybe they have like a miserliness and he makes money, but he just refuses to spend because he saves and he hoards.
Yes.
And I think this is a problem because,
it's a huge problem.
It's a huge problem. The Prophet ﷺ, a woman came to him and she said, I've been presented 2 men for marriage. One, his name is Abu Jahm, and the other one was Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. He said, the Prophet ﷺ told her, don't marry either of them because Abu Jahm
carries a stick.
Is a stick.
Yeah.
Right? And he'll beat the wife.
Yeah.
As for Muawiyah, it's going to be financial tightness with him. And he was a great Sahabi. They were both great Sahaba, radiallahu anhu, but there was their deficiencies. And from that, the scholars took that a woman should marry a man
that's known for
generosity. You shouldn't be tight-fisted.
Yeah.
And some men are like, look, I'm saving for our future. But they don't realize that saving
is actually destroying the future.
Destroying the future.
It's
why is it destroying the future?
Minus 8% every year, just inflation. Minus 8 to 10%, just inflation. The buying power keeps going down every year, but your savings not going up every year because you have put your identity to that 100K savings in the account, so it never goes up.
Yeah.
It's 100K in the account every year, and it's depreciating 8 to 10% every year, so you're left with nothing 8 to 10 years later. Your buying power has completely gone.
I actually know a brother who, subhanAllah, has been saving for like 30, 40 years, and he still saves till now. And when I realized, I was just so depressed because I was like, I forget the numbers, but I worked it out. From the moment he started saving, what he has now, the number's gone up. It's like $1 million or something. But the value of that money has depreciated so much because of inflation.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's actually lost money.
Penny saved is not penny earned, Sheikh.
Penny saved is not penny earned. Wow, it's very powerful.
Yeah, so that's a myth.
Because what people need to understand is that the money, it has a quality, which is purchasing power.
Yep.
Right? The only reason why money has value is because I can...
Purchasing power, yes, Sheikh.
Buy things with it.
Yeah.
Now, if this money that I have has a higher purchasing power, I can buy more things.
Of course.
But if, for example, the dollar is today worth half of what it was worth last year, the number seems high. It seems the same. I've got $1, but I can actually only get half of what I would have purchased with it prior.
Of course.
Which is why things like, chocolate bars or train rides or bus rides, there used to be cents, pennies back when I was a child. And now they're several pounds.
Think about it.
Like a travel card, I remember, used to be £2 when I was a kid, and last time I checked, it was like £15, £20 or something like that.
SubhanAllah.
Like a one-day travel card on the train.
Yeah,
on the metro. So,
Sheikh, this was propagated by the banks that pennies saved is a penny earned, because the more savings you put in the bank, the more bank can take these and give out loans to people, interest-based loans, and the more they can make money.
Oh, wow. So you're actually facilitating the banks to be able to do the riba?
Of course, Sheikh, because that bank is in the business of making money by selling money.
And coming back to the household, the couple, I can see that there's a problem because the wife is like, bro, you actually make money. But you
we're talking about the people who actually make money.
Yeah, you make money, but you put it away. You don't spend it on us, nor are you doing anything for our future. So what would you advise this guy to then? What should he do?
To become a man.
Okay.
To step up, become a man, and, listen to Chai with My Bye podcast. So many things we discussed, so many things you need to work on. Like the basic being your faith, finance, fitness, and family.
Yeah.
Like the very basic things, and you need to start getting serious because, like you Sheikh said, you said, Sheikh, did you say it after the podcast or before the podcast? I forgot, the nikah contract.
Yeah, I said it
in the podcast, right? So nikah contract, basically we're not doing our obligation.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not providing financial security to our family, and financial security, the definition is changing rapidly. What used to be financial security when our parents were around and making money, and then grandparents, is not the same anymore, Sheikh. There's so many more things coming.
Yeah.
The whole LGBTQ movement is out there to take our kids.
Yeah.
And if we're not serious, if we're still in the West and we have to be in the West, let's say for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years before we move to the East, which should be ideally the solution, move to a Muslim land. But in that meantime, you need to figure things out.
Yeah.
And a woman's respect. Sheikh, most of the top leading podcasters are who? The men, right? So now, if she's listening to on the Audible, let's say, good sister, listening to a podcast, and a man is saying what's supposed to be done, and that man is doing the things, automatically she's going to compare with her husband. It's like, what's going on here?
So what if you flip it, right? Because this is also, although I empathize with a lot of good sisters, alarm barik, that are in this situation, quite sad, and the men need to stop. What if you flip the situation? For example, there's a guy, he's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he's got his wife and his children used to such a lifestyle that he's just not able to save. Like, I was just speaking to a brother, he's a very good brother. I won't mention what his profession was, but he's a very good professional, alarm barik. He makes $400,000 a year.
Allah Mubarak.
Right? He makes a lot of money annually, right?
He's in the top 1% of the world.
Top 1% of the world. And he wanted to set up a business because he wants passive income.
Yeah.
He wants to move to a Muslim country. So already that threw me off. I mean, he should just invest. Like he's got more money than he needs, alarm barik.
Right.
He's only got like 3 children, alarm barik. He could be putting half that money away into investment and having passive income, as opposed to having to go through the burden of becoming an entrepreneur and starting something fresh.
Of course.
To a Muslim country. And I tried to explore the option with him. I was like, I was just trying to check his risk appetite.
Yeah.
I was like, if you left this and you double down on your business, how long until like your money runs dry?
Yeah.
Assuming he's got savings.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was kind of like, I don't really have much leeway, bro. I was like, what do you mean? It's like I have, monthly expenses are pretty high.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, that makes no sense to me. You're telling me you spend $40,000 a month? $40,000 a month?
Wow.
And you don't have assets?
Yeah.
I understand a guy who's wealthy, he's got assets, he's spending $4,000, but you don't have assets.
Right, so it's all on active income.
You're burning $40K a month.
Yeah, that's more than what he makes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's because he's like, and he admitted to me, I've got my family used to a particular lifestyle. And to come back from that.
That's a poison, Sheikh.
Yeah, it's going to be traumatic. So what do you say to a brother like this? How does he fix it? Because he's going to be, look, let's presume that his wife is not going to support him, right? Although I know many sisters will support and say, no worries, we're with you. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. But what if he's faced a situation where he's got a woman where she's actually going to be very, very annoyed? Like, no. Like, what advice would you give to this guy?
I don't know, Sheikh. Wallahi, I don't know. Because I've not, I don't know how would that be even possible? Right? Because my wife is ready for me to, if Allah forbid, we lose everything, Sheikh. Yeah. If I go back to flipping burgers, she's fine, and I constantly remind her of that. All these blessings are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if he decides to take it, it's all his to begin with, right? And my family's ready, Sheikh. So I don't know. How would your wife be not ready to lower the life standards for the greater good of the future and the family and the kids? I have no idea, Sheikh.
The issue with this, Sheikh, is this comes back to that stat I mentioned at the beginning, right? And I remember I got it from, I think it's Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, man.
The guy on Shark Tank.
Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, he's the one who mentioned the stat.
He gives good financial advice. But yeah, so that's one man people can listen to.
He's the one who mentioned, it was on the recent Diary of a CEO podcast, he's the one who mentioned, I think he said something like 5% of divorces are due to infidelity and like 60-70%. Go double check the numbers.
Then I trust the survey,
are due to numbers.
Yeah.
Financial issues. And one thing that he mentioned was that we really need to be picking our spouses based on their financial appetite or their relationship with money.
True.
And this takes me back to something that the scholars of fiqh mention, which is a principle in marriage, is al-kafa'a, which is compatibility. And one of the things that you base compatibility on is lifestyle and money.
Yeah.
The amount of money you're used to spending, or the type of money that you want to spend. Because these are problems that can be resolved at the beginning. But when people are getting married, they don't discuss these issues.
Yeah, that's why it's issue at the end.
And now a matter of fact is that if you're married to a woman who is burning away your money and she's going to have an issue with that, there is a very high chance this will end in divorce.
Yeah.
If she's not a good woman, because the statistics show us.
And I think it should.
Well, this is what I wanted to get to now. That let's just say a guy's in a situation where he's realized, for the sake of my sanity, for the sake of my happiness, for taking care of my children, their future, because I don't want them to be students loans and this, that, and the other, I've got to take this money away and invest it, right? Not save, but invest. And he's going to be faced with a hard-headed woman. Should he be prepared to leave her?
I believe 100%, Sheikh. We discussed in another episode. There's 4 stages, right? Survival, status, freedom, and impact of making money. On the other episode, we go in details. But maybe the woman is stuck in the status mode and the brother is in freedom or impact mode. So there's no congruency.
Just give a quick summary of what each of those 4 offer.
Yeah, survival is barely you're just making enough money to pay bills.
Yeah.
You're not worried about impact. You're not worried about saving the world. You're just worried about making enough money to pay the bills.
Women troubling them at that stage.
Wow.
Angry, why can't I get a bag? Why can't I get this? She knows exactly how much he makes and what the bills are, but every month.
But I don't get it, Sheikh. Then didn't you discuss before getting married? Like, what's the issue? So I think another problem, Sheikh, is people don't discuss. I think the brothers don't let their finances know completely. I don't know if that's an issue, but I think if you're overselling before the marriage, it's the same concept in business. If you're overpromising, maybe the brothers are overpromising. Allahu alam, Sheikh.
Well, sometimes what I find is that women, many a times, will say, no, I'll ride it out with you.
Yeah, but
the thing is, what you've got to look at is what her life, and look, there's always exceptions to the rule, but you've got to look at what her lifestyle is.
What she's used to.
In her dad's house.
Yeah.
She might be saying it because she's got daddy issues, she just wants to get married and get out of the house or whatever have you.
Yeah.
But reality of the matter is that it's easier to say it when you're faced with bailiffs or when you're faced with having to no, we have to ration our food because I'm trying to save and invest.
Right.
You're faced with that reality. It's a different story now. She goes back on her heels.
Yeah.
Being a Muslim entrepreneur who's committed to making hundreds and millions of dollars through his business without compromising his deen, I can tell you this is a very lonely journey. But over the last year, I've realized that I'm not alone. In fact, some of the most sophisticated entrepreneurs are Muslims who fear Allah, and they watch this show. They attend our retreats, and they use their wealth for good. The issue is that they're all scattered. They're all alone. But inshallah, that changes once and for all on September the 6th. Because we're going to be launching our exclusive and powerful circle of Muslims making millions, inshallah ta'ala. If you make millions as an entrepreneur or have at least $10 million in assets through investments, then you qualify to join our waiting list at the link below. P.S. I just want to mention, money isn't the only qualifying factor, but it definitely is the first. So you can register your interest at the link below, inshallah ta'ala, and join the waiting list. With that said, let's get back into the discussion.
Now that you're saying it, alhamdulillah, I got probably lucky in that sense. May Allah bless my wife. She comes from a very well-off family.
But
when
was exceptions.
So when she got married, it was a complete downgrade for her. In that sense, alhamdulillah, it worked out. But you're absolutely right, Sheikh. That's a great point. Before getting married, I think those are the things that need to be openly discussed. And like you said, not everybody take it with a pinch of salt. Probably the sister will say, we'll write it out, but it's hard.
What are the 4 stages of wealth that you were just mentioning?
First is survival mode, where we're just working to pay the bills. The second stage is status mode. And most of us are just stuck in one or two, survival or status. Status mode is basically I'm doing everything to please it could be from the sister side. Oh, my cousin got married to her husband and her husband does this. Her husband gifted her a Mercedes, whatever class, right? So you have to do the same now because otherwise my father will be embarrassed in front of his brother. So you're just going to be always stuck in the status mode because you're doing everything to please people that you don't like. Right? So you're in the status mode. The next 2 are where we want to be, but we don't want to be stuck in the third one for too long, which is the freedom mode. Freedom is you basically do business, do things that you like doing with people that you enjoy doing it on your time, on your terms. That's your freedom. But if you just get stuck in that freedom mode also, then it's purposeless. And that's where a lot of people actually commit suicide in this stage if they get stuck here for too long. Because for their life, how much more freedom are we going to have?
There's drugs and
exactly, they jump off from the 14th floor. Prostitution, drugs, cocaine, partying. They don't know what to do next.
Vices to soothe the pain of the reality of their life.
Yes, they're just looking for the next dopamine release. So their wives are not pretty anymore. Nothing works anymore. Sheikh. So you have to quickly move from the freedom stage to the impact stage.
Okay.
And that's the last stage. That's where you actually are making money. You're investing money. You have an impact. And like we discussed in the other episode, it doesn't always have to be an impact that changes the world. It could be an impact that changes your family. You do something for your parents now, finally. You start serving, you start massaging your parents' feet because you didn't have time your entire life to do it. Now your whole life purpose is, man, I'm just going to massage their feet every single day.
Yeah.
And for that, you actually need all those stages, freedom and everything. Now that's the impact you want to make, right? To the larger impacts of the world.
You know, I have good thoughts of our sisters, you know, Muslim sisters, because that study that I mentioned was from a non-Muslim. America is, like, generally speaking, taking into account individualistic mindsets and hedonism. The society is built on that stuff. I have good thoughts. I believe our brothers, if they have these conversations with their wives, actually would be pretty supportive. I remember I had to have this conversation with my wife once because there was a point where our lifestyle was actually greater than my income. And it was causing me a lot of distress, man. Like, and I was actually very, 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 very upset because every like month I'm making money and I'm at zero.
Spending more,
And I'm working so hard, but it's not even that I'm maintaining, like I'm minus. So we were renting a property, and this was, like, you know, pretty early on in our marriage. So we're young, renting a property that was expensive, and I was really struggling to keep up with it.
Yeah.
So I was scared to have the conversation because I thought I'd really disappoint her.
Yeah.
When I actually spoke to her and I sat down and I explained to her what's going on, I remember it was funny because I went to her in fight or flight mode. Like, I was, like, ready for her to, I don't know, in my mind, I told myself that she's going to be really upset or whatever have you. You know, as a man, you don't want to disappoint your family, right?
Of course.
And it feels very...
Those are the hardest conversations to have.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I went to her and she was totally cool with it, she was like, bro, that's down. Like, what are we doing? Like, as in, she looked at me like, what are you doing? Like,
why are you overthinking it?
Yeah, like, no worries. And of course, it's going to pinch, right? When you go from a
Of course, it's easier said than done, of course.
But the fact that she made that sacrifice, alhamdulillah, allowed me to move her out to Dubai. You know? Alhamdulillah. So, point being is that, and it took like 7-8 years.
Right.
Maybe even longer, actually, before we got to the stage that we are at right now. But
alhamdulillah, Sheikh.
She'll appreciate in the long run. So sometimes, bro, it's just a conversation. It's just an awkward conversation.
Right.
And you got to give your wife the confidence that, look, I've done my research. I know what, and look, this is what we're going to do with the money. This is the plan.
Yes.
And 5 to 10 years from now, or 15, 20 years from now, this is the kind of life that we can have. Most people's brains are not wired to think in compounds.
Of course.
Right? If you tell her what's 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, she'll tell you. If you tell her what's 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8.
17 million.
Really?
Yeah. 8 times 8 times 8, if you do it 9 times, it's 17 million.
It's 17 million.
But if you plus it 9 times, it's only 72.
Look at that, right?
Yeah.
And 8 times 8, that's investments.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
With you, I guess it's like 50.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. 50 times 50.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Yeah. Point being is that right there, you know, break it down, show them the numbers, show them the math. Just be a man.
Yeah. And I think that's where I think the key is the sisters want to see, not necessarily the good ones we're talking about, not necessarily that you're always, you know, thriving financially, you're killing it, you're crushing it. They want to see the discipline, that your effort is there, you're trying, your strong mindset, you're not giving in to temptations, you're not overspending on your boys, you're not going out every weekend just to refresh your mind, you're spending on like unnecessary stuff just to like pamper yourself. When they see the discipline is there, you're sleeping on time, you're waking up for Fajr, you're exercising, you're going to work, you're working hard, you're making calls, you're doing research, and then it's on Allah, right? So a good sister, righteous sister will understand, like, nobody has control over the results.
And if there are young brothers that are watching us right now, I just want to mention to them, and I say this hopefully with a sincere heart, man, just like advice to you guys, bro. And for a second, just put halal and haram to the side. But don't you dare have an expensive wedding, no matter what your family or your in-laws say. And don't you dare commit to a unreasonable mahar, no matter what her family says or what she says. And don't you dare get yourself into student debt. And don't you dare get a credit card. And don't you dare commit to buying a house on any form of debt, right? Because not only are you starting your marriage with war with Allah and the displeasure with Allah, but you're starting with such debt. It's going to put so much pressure that even if you are a CEO of a company,
Right.
you will struggle to keep up with all those payments.
100%, Sheikh.
Like,
Golden advice.
There's actually a statement of Umar radiallahu anhu. He mentioned that, this is something, a high mahar, an extortionate mahar, is something that will make the man hate his wife. Like some guys are working 2-3 years to pay off the mahar. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a guy who says, I'm not committing to that expensive house.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have student loan debt. I'm not going to have credit card debt. I'm not going to have expensive rent to pay. I'm not going to, take loans or spend this massive money on a massive wedding. One night, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you will have
not even the full night, Sheikh.
Not even the full night. And people are going to still complain.
Yeah.
And probably give
the
you
food
evil
is
eye.
cold. This doesn't taste well.
And give you evil eye.
Yeah.
And give you evil eye. So point being is that if you can avoid all that, you will have much better footing and less pressure on your marriage. You don't realize all this stuff brings pressure on the marriage.
100%, Sheikh. And brothers overestimate their capacities.
Mm-hmm.
That's another problem, Sheikh, right? So they think, all these I can take on, and inshallah, I will pay off all this in a year. It's like asking Cristiano Ronaldo, hey, you're Mr. Ronaldo. We're going to start this match 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your guy's 0, and the other team is scored 10 goals. Mm-hmm. Minute 1 starts. So you have 90 minutes to catch up. Mm-hmm. Will Ronaldo sign up for this match, being arguably the greatest player of all time? No. So even if it's 1-0, he wouldn't sign up, Sheikh.
No.
Why would I? Why would I do that? It's not even playing field, right? So it's like, brothers, another problem is we overestimate, and it goes into business principles also. We always think like we're gonna make lot and we're gonna cover this. Let's swipe the credit card. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be fine in 3 months, and that's a grave blunder, Sheikh. Even if the credit card is, let's say, Sheikh, it's not a credit card. Let's say a brother is giving you a loan. So there is no issue of, like you said, haram and halal, let's say. It's like a brother giving you a loan just for you to enjoy and spend and have a good time. Don't take the loan.
I think there's hope, man. One of the things I think gives me a lot of hope is the fact that you mentioned something which was pretty shocking for me, man. That a huge fraction of your investors, those that are our audience that watch, that are investing with yourself, are actually encouraged to invest from their wives.
Oh, yes. A lot of the brothers get on the call.
Audience, Allah
Mubarak, yes, sir.
Marry a sister that was cultivated,
yes,
for our da'wah, maybe.
Yeah. They 100% were, Sheikh. They 100% were. The brothers come on and I would say good 30%, Sheikh. I've mentioned that my wife has convinced me to get on the call. Then once I did the research, I'm like, wow, this is great. But my wife at least convinced me to look into it. Like, see if it's good for us. I think we should look into it. So that's like speaks volumes, Sheikh. And we, like you said, we have huge hopes for the ummah. Like,
and if there are any sisters who might resonate with anything of what we said, where they can sense that their husbands are spending money where they shouldn't be, maybe just to please them, maybe status symbols, maybe they're struggling, maybe they're wasting money. Look, your responsibility as a wife is not to provide. That's your husband's job.
Yeah.
But one responsibility that you do have is to safeguard his wealth in his absence.
Yep.
And his property and so on and so forth. So one of the things that our sisters, may Allah reward them, can do is maybe even start the conversation with their husband. They say, honey, like, do we need... Like,
do you need that cigar outing every weekend with your boys?
Which is haram anyways.
It's haram anyways. To do business networking, to do biz dev. They spend so much money, Sheikh, on shishas and cigars. It's crazy.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Crazy.
But one advice I'd give to the sisters is that when you have this type of conversation with a man, it can very, very easily bruise his ego. So definitely you should, but approach it in a way where, you know your man.
Yes, of course, Sheikh.
You know your man best, inshallah.
Get them hooked into the right podcast first.
Right podcast, inshallah ta'ala.
They'll come to the conclusion themselves.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Sheikh, well, I been getting very good feedback about this podcast, The Muslim Money Show. I feel like people are starting to become more financially literate.
Inshallah.
And we ask Allah to consistently allow our brothers to keep growing and making money and using this tool to earn the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. If anyone's interested in checking out Sam and his investment opportunities here in Dubai, along about it, you can check it out at the link.
Well, Sheikh, it's never too late to start. So many brothers get on the call. They say, I messed up the first half of my life. I'm 42 years old, but this is it. I'm going to make change now. So it could be anyone at any age. It's never too late to make changes.
Uncle Anwar, who, mashallah, is worth 7.5 mil. He started with you when?
So he started investing a lot before investing with me, but he started investing with me 10 years ago.
Wow, so he was like 50.
He was like 55.
Was he worth $1 million at that time?
He was worth, I would say, $1 million, Sheikh.
Okay.
But now he's worth like 7-8 million plus.
In how many years? Allah better.
In 10 years.
Look at that.
Alhamdulillah.
Right, so it's never too late.
It's never too late. And he has made his 3 sons physicians without student loans.
Allah
And these are not general medicine physicians, like actual specialists, Sheikh. Allahumma barik.
Allahumma barik. If you want to get more information on Sam's project Dubai in Dubai, you can check out the link below. We'll see you again for another episode of the Muslim Money Show next week.
Inshallah.
Guys, with that said, subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In case you ever wanted to move to Dubai, I've got something very special for you. As you may be aware, myself and Abu Bakr moved to Dubai and Sharjah last year. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made for our deen, our families, and our businesses. Living here is amazing. You've got a masjid in almost every single street, unparalleled safety and security. You've got lessons from mashayikh and different teachers and students of knowledge in English and Arabic, and no income tax. Now, how do you move here? That's a question that you might be asking. Well, it can be tough if you don't know your way around things. Sometimes the companies that help you get visas here, they got hidden fees, long waits, big problems, resulting in visa rejections, a lot of wasted money and time. This is where Ansar Consultants comes into play. They helped us set up everything. No hidden fees, no long waits. They kept it simple and honest. I got my visa in less than a month. And these guys have a 100% track record helping brothers get their visa so far. 100% track record. That's insane. Allahumma barik. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the UAE, I recommend Ansar Consultants. They can even help you invest in properties here with a 100% Sharia compliant contract. So if you want a smooth move like we did, click the link below and check out Ansar Consultants.